Well, hi there. Welcome to another vlog, a live vlog. I'm SeanOrange, and I'm here to say thank you. But first, I got to make sure people are watching. We just finished off a live stream over at the Famicom Dojo channel about our upcoming event live stream podcast, No BrandCon 2018. Then they said, "Well, hey, come over to the SeanOrange channel, and we'll talk about uh, more about Famicom Dojo, little more navel gazing, I guess." Hello again, Sarah. Got two watching now. So I'm going to share this. For some reason, when I tried to do this a little earlier, it didn't quite work right. So I'm going to, this should have been tweeted already. So let's see if that tweet came through, and then I'll share it on the Facebook again. So it took a little so long to get out there. Had some technical difficulties, like I was saying on the other tweet. Yep, there it is. It's on the Twitters. So I'm going to make sure that it is on the Famicom Dojo channel as well. And then we will do the thing on the Facebooks, and then we will discuss what I'm here to discuss. Because how embarrassing would it be that I start talking and there's no one actually watching me yet? So let's do that. But yeah, so we are here because we hit 2 million views, and I cannot thank you all enough for making that possible. We've been doing Famicom Dojo and related video game content and completely unrelated content on SeanOrange since 2006. And the Famicom Dojo channel has existed since 2013, although it wasn't until like 2014, 15 that we really started in earnest to make that, the new home of Famicom Dojo. And a lot of you guys have been around for most of that time, or some of that time, or all of that time. But everyone absolutely counts. So I seriously cannot thank you all enough for helping us on this journey, no matter how long you've been a part of it. So let's talk about Famicom Dojo. It's responsible for most of these 2 million views, so it only makes sense that we talk mostly about that. But I wouldn't mind talking about some of the other things I've been doing on the channel, what you like to see from it, what I plan on doing in the future, and what we're doing for the Famicom Dojo channel. So for those who are curious, the breakdown is about 1.5 million views on SeanOrange and 500,000 on Famicom Dojo, and the Famicom Dojo channel subscribers have almost surpassed SeanOrange. So for combined 14,000 subscribers, and I'm sure there's some overlap between the two. But yeah, it's really awesome and humbling, and we're glad that you guys have been watching us for so long. So I guess my question to you all first is, what do you enjoy? What do you think we could be doing better? What would you like to see? And like any comments or suggestions, because this is mostly about you guys, but I could keep rambling indefinitely, of course. What, Sarah? Well, you are over on the East Coast, so it is getting kind of late. Thing? What thing? All right. Well, we have some people here, not everyone from the other channels. See, so there's clearly not so much crossover, at least not this time of night. Okay. So absent any questions, I'll just keep rambling. So we split off the Famicom Dojo channel several years ago, as I mentioned, and one of the things I was supremely worried about was that the SeanOrange channel would just go After that happened, people would just abandon it and go to Famicom Dojo, and that didn't happen. And it was kind of surprising. Actually, what did happen was that people didn't know that we started the new channel. So that's why you see me post a lot of promos and previews and whatever on the SeanOrange channel, because I'm trying to get people to go to the Famicom Dojo channel and be like, that's where the stuff is you're probably looking for. And it's worked to the point, like I said, where the two channels have almost parity and subscribers now, but I haven't really lost any on SeanOrange, and that's been amazing to me, and I can't thank you enough. But clearly I haven't been doing enough to sort of diversify the content, make sure that it has a reason for existing. That's something I really want to change. And a big reason I want to change that is because everything up until about 2013 or so, for Famicom Dojo is still on this channel. And since YouTube changed their rules about monetization, the SeanOrange channel is still above the threshold. I mean, it's well above the subscriber threshold, but it's hovering uncomfortably close to the watch time threshold. Most of the views we get aren't from new things that we post. Not surprising, because most of the new things we post is promos for another channel. But based on the strength of our videos that are, up to 10 years old in some cases, which is again amazing. Our first Famicom Dojo episode crossed 100,000 views a while ago. It's around 112 now, but it's hardly the fastest growing one anymore. The one that has caught up to it now almost is the GameCube Menu Secrets one, which crossed 100,000 just a few weeks ago, actually, and it's still on a pretty meteoric rise. So it's going to surpass, I think at the current rate, in 2 years, it's going to surpass the first Famicom Dojo episode, which is incredible. So that's a video that we put together after we read on the NinDB forums. I can't remember. Someone had figured out that if you sped up the GameCube music, that it was the Famicom Disk System startup. So funny story about that actually is that if you count the SeanOrange guy YouTube channel, which is also mine, I don't really put a lot of stuff there. It's like, kind of like odds and ends, miscellaneous things, some little experiments and whatnot. I put up an 8-second clip of a sped up GameCube menu because no one had done it with the video before. It was just the audio. So like, well, that could be anything, right? So like, I'm going to actually go through the exercise of doing it. And I put it up, and it got to like 500,000 views by itself in a really fast amount of time. So between that being almost 700,000, and a Dragon Age 2 video I did that was kind of like a one-off, like 170,000, it's gotten more views than any Famicom Dojo video I've ever done. So if you count that, there's almost 1 million more views on this third channel that I'm not even counting as part of this 2 million that I'm talking about. There's no Vinnk here, Amadeus. I'm sorry. Wait, Vinnk, he is here. Damn it, Vinnk. Oh, Sarah's from the Midwest too. That's good to know. With the Vinklings, yeah. So hopefully you have been enjoying the Sarah plays. She just released a new one, and then Vinnk mentioned that she's going to be doing another one. She's already planning the next one pretty soon. And I'm a little concerned about treading that line between making sure that we're just encouraging Sarah and not taking advantage of her earnestness. And I don't think Vinnk would ever do that. But if it's crossed anyone's mind, because it's crossed mine before, that's what someone else might think, I guess. And everyone's been amazingly encouraging. And they've been amazingly encouraging of us too. Like we rarely get like any like really bad comments or vitriol from anybody, which I can't thank you all enough for. Maybe if we're not popular enough yet. Okay. I will answer your question, Mr. Buckshot. So I just wanted to finish up my thought about the GameCube stuff. So this whole channel with 1 million views on it, just about. And I think that 8-second clip, it's really easy to watch an 8-second clip a bunch of times to rack up a bunch of views, whereas like a 10-minute video, it's a lot harder. So the fact that it has a 6th or a 7th of what the 8-second video does, the longer explanation of the GameCube stuff is pretty amazing to me, I think. It was really encouraging for us at a time where we weren't sure how Famicom Dojo was going to continue. So it was one of our first train your game format of videos, and then it was in 2010, 2000, no, it must have been 2012. That sounds right. And that was the only one we released on the SeanOrange before we switched over to the Famicom Dojo channel. So that's, yeah, that makes sense. 2012. So yeah, since then we've been doing, everyone's asking when's the next season coming out. So since 2015, we've been doing seasons, and we think we're real clever for figuring this out. But we have the Winter Dojo 2015. We have, which really started in the springtime. Really, it was I think technically after the first day of spring that Winter Dojo started, but it was still winter in Wisconsin, kind of like this year. And then we did Summer Dojo 2016. And that was, we kind of fell backwards into that one. Like Vinnk's just like, hey, we're putting out some videos. Well, let's call it a season. So like, okay. And then we did some stuff there. There's Spring Dojo 2017. And then now Spring Dojo Spring Training 2018, which hasn't really ridden the coattails of professional sports the way I was hoping that hashtag would. But we have a lot planned for this year, and as I keep teasing, wait for the summer. We got some cool stuff coming. But all those seasons, like that's where Famicom Dojo got really revitalized, because we did the data recorder video. It was very long and ambitious, our longest video to date. We got Rob Matsushita, who's formerly of Madison, playwright, producer, actor, writer, director, and you probably know him best from the Chad Vader series, and stuff like that. And we got to know him because of the Madison Underground stuff that was being done in Madison around 2013. And actually, I've known of him peripherally through friends for years, because I went to high school in Stoughton. So it was cool to finally connect with him and then like get him involved in the Famicom Dojo family. So we've put his podcast appearance on the Famicom Dojo channel in video form. Plus on SeanOrange, we released one about 10 minutes about Psychic Detective. So for a while he was doing a podcast called 10 Minutes About Your Favorite Movie. That I guess he's unfortunately stopped since then, since moving out of the state. But it was a wild ride for a while. Like I was on that show, I got to meet some cool people while doing that. And so thanks to Rob for connecting us, and he even invited us to his going away party with like a lot of his theater people. So we didn't know any of them, so I just hung out with like my high school friends who he also invited. So that was kind of fun. But anyway, yeah. So and then Sarah Tosh, one with Sarah Hesh. Or is it Hesh? Sorry, Sarah. It's Tosh now because she's changed it. That happens when you get married in America sometimes. Still want to. How awkward. Anyway, so I got both of them to appear in our video, and I love stuff like that. I will go to ridiculous lengths for the dumbest jokes, and the most, our highest produced stuff is usually a dumb joke. So giving someone a mixtape of data recorder save files was hilarious to me. Having a 40-plus-year-old man of Japanese descent who looks nothing like Vinnk, who lives in Japan, play a younger version from 30 years ago, also hilarious to me. What are you gonna do? But after that video came out, like something awesome happened. Like we got a lot of traffic off that video, and there was this awesome halo effect for the original SeanOrange channel with all the older stuff. And so like, well, we can keep doing this, we can keep making Famicom Dojo. And so we did Spring Dojo, and we got a really big unexpected hit with our Super Game Boy 2 stuff. And then the Gaming Historian coincidentally released his own Super Game Boy 2 review a few months later. So I'm watching you. He does really good work though, so I can't be too mad. And we have been slumming it in comparison. I feel like we definitely trended more towards the vlog type stuff, not so much the highly produced kind of thing. We still like doing that. But yeah, I think data recorder was the last like really big ambitious project we did, and that was 3 years ago. So this year, like we had big plans to get everything fired up and get you guys fired up for the stuff that we want to do. Now we'll get back to the chat. Now that I've been rambling and rambling. Yeah, the first video, I don't know what happened there. It seemed like it switched accounts on me in the middle of me broadcasting, and then I couldn't log back in or share it. So I started over, which I'm like the first one didn't happen. I've already deleted it. So Vinnk. All right, Mr. Buckshot says he wants to get a Sharp Twin Famicom, a Twin Duo specifically. How do you suggest you get one? You could ask Vinnk. He's got JapanRetroDirect.com. He might be able to procure one for you. Otherwise, you can probably find one without a power supply. Who knows if the belt and the drive works or not? That's the biggest problem. The one of mine died years ago, and I still had to replace it. So that'll make a good video, right? But the hardest part is the power supply. And I wrote down some notes about what I'm supposed to get for that. Just a second here. Yep. Don't have that immediately available, but I have it written down somewhere. Basically, you think you need 7.5 volts. I forget the amperage exactly. And it's center pin negative, and reversing the polarity on this would not be advised. So let me double check on those specs, but there are ways to buy an AC adapter that will fit, the center pin negative or whatever the center pin polarity is, and the size, and then the right voltage and amperage and everything. I was actually looking at some stuff online where you can change the voltage setting right on the AC adapter, and then there's like little plugs and stuff. Otherwise, yeah, if I can get the specs out, then that's the best way to get one of those. Unlike the AV Famicom, Super Famicom DC adapter, it doesn't fit a twin Famicom, and the power requirements are different. Yeah. The twin is the way to go, though. I think it is a really nice piece of hardware. One scoop per 20,000 views. All right, I'm at Mario again. Oh, people are coming to this video now. Oh, yeah, Vinnk. You'll be home in 5 minutes. Yeah. Oh, I'm not sending to chat apparently. Let me do that. All right. Yeah, Vinnk. If you want to come on to this one, that's great. I'm going to be doing it for. How is it almost 10 o'clock? I apparently I had a really hard time getting this one started. Yeah, the AV Famicom is great. I think Amadeus was on the last video. We mentioned a bit about our plans going forward. So what do you guys want to know? Do you guys want to have any questions for what SeanOrange had been? I should probably talk a little bit about the history. So I started this channel specifically because I joined Powit TV back in 2005, and I didn't have my own channel. Well, no, I think I started the channel in 2005 too, but I didn't really have anything on it until 2006. So I mostly spent my time doing production support, editing, stuff like that. So Phil Bond, right? Like I helped him film and to some extent edit his first Otaka song video. And then from that point on, he pretty much took the whole thing on his own. But I was doing that in 2006. I also put together a sort of vlog documentary of my study abroad time in Japan that was on this channel for a while. But then when they started getting more tight about their copyrighted content, I don't think the video was taken down. It was just flagged, and I was really concerned at the time about making sure that my channel was clean enough to be monetized. So I took all those videos down. I really want to put them up again, but I tried putting one of them up on something, and it got flagged for that same song. It was a Hikaru Utada song, Traveling. It made perfect sense at the time. I mean, I use a lot of J-pop, J-rock stuff that I picked up in Japan to set to music. So I was making like these music videos, for like pictures, and there's video clips I had that didn't have a lot of good context. And then, like some like narration. Like it was my first real attempt to cut my teeth at video making, but it wasn't like the kind of Famicom Dojo fare, that kind of thing that I did later. So there was Famicom Dojo, of course, that we did in 2007. I jumped on to Powit's contemporary review show, Keep Playing, which was, I think, originally just Zach, and then I got my hand on in it, and then Adam, and I don't remember if anyone else did, but the three of us for sure did. And those, some of those ones are mostly about Mass Effect, did really, really well. So I thought I was going to be doing that forever. And then Powit, as it was, essentially folded in 2013, which was not directly related to the fact that we moved the Famicom Dojo channel over, but it just kind of happened all at the same time. And that made things a little bit difficult. But I liked doing Keep Playing, and for years now I've wanted to start something like it again. So I've been teasing it for a long time. But if you listen to our podcast, we have our Future Retro and our Pile of Shame segments, and we've already turned Pile of Shame into a video series, and I want to basically bring back Keep Playing, or at least the format I did for my version of Keep Playing, as our Future Retro video series going forward. Yeah, Powit, Steve knows. Yeah, I do sink a lot of cash into the Famicom column. That's true. No, Mr. Buckshot. The twin Sega Genesis adapter won't fit the size of the plug. I think it's too big. And I'm not sure if the power specs are the same or the polarity is the same. So sorry about that. Famicom Dojo is on its own on YouTube channel. So it's youtube.com/Famicom Dojo. And so there's been new stuff, like I said, since about 2013. All of our really big stuff, our big seasons, like I mentioned, Winter Dojo 2015, Summer Dojo 2016, Spring Dojo 2017, and Spring Training 2018, and everything we're doing right now, since the first week of spring this year, have been on that channel. So there's like 100 videos on there, including some of the promos and stuff. But yeah, I check it out. Some of the work that I'm really most proud of is on there. It doesn't have as many views in some cases as the original stuff, but YouTube was a very different place 10 years ago. It was a lot easier to get seen, and there are a lot more video reviewers around there right now. Actually, Game Dave just put up a picture on Instagram, I think. It's got like his glasses on, sunglasses off, and he's wearing the Famicom Dojo shirt. In fact, this shirt right here. And someone comments on there. It's like, is Famicom Dojo still around? I'm glad that they survived. And I'm realizing, like, even though we're not like popular like the Angry Video Game Nerd or the channel Awesome People, rest in peace, channel Awesome. Yeah, people still know about us, and it's just a shame that they think we disappeared, and I don't know what to do about that, because we get suddenly more Twitter followers and Facebook followers, and like I post stuff to the SeanOrange channel constantly about go watch the video, but like I don't know how to tell you guys that this is a promo, and like there's a link in the description to the full video, or there's a card that pops up, I guess from this side of the screen, a part that pops up and says, go watch the full video. And then no one does. And there's like, what happened? Why did you post all these promos? It's like, well, you're supposed to be at the other channel. I don't know how else to tell you except for what I'm doing right now, but no one watches these videos long enough to, if there's 7,000 subscribers and only get 200 views on this, then, there are almost 7,000 people who don't know still. Right. So I don't know what else to do. Hey, this new channel, go over to it. Just search for Famicom Dojo on YouTube. There, you will find the channel there. Thanks, Amadeus. I think the funny thing about feeling more genuine is that, especially like when we did our season 2 stuff, it was more like a show about making a show than it was like a show about video games, if that makes any sense. It became a little too self-aware, and it still is pretty self-aware. So there's always this two extremes we go to, where it's like we'll do something like this where I'm not really acting, I'm just vlogging or whatever. And then there's totally the acting part of it on the other side of it, and sometimes it's like a little bit of both in the middle, and you can't really tell where the range is. um it it can be all over the place. But like the early stuff was really fun for me to do, because um it was sort of this imaginary world of, we're making a show, we know we're making a show, and then like the version of the show you're seeing is like a quasi behind the scenes version of the show we think we're making, if that makes any sense. So sorry. To me it's funny. I think it's funny anyway. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to believe, Frylock, that we are, you know, contemporaries with a lot of like really big popular channels, more or less. I mean, and like Angry Video Game Nerd started like 6 years before we did. No, wait, 2004 was it? It's like 2 or 3 years, right? But like, you know, they got in touch with, and that's the other thing too. So a lot of things have changed, and YouTube's like the only place we can do this kind of thing and have the audience that we have. But there were other outlets back in the day. There was game trailer uploads we could do. We weren't part of game trailers as like, you know, their core people, but like we got a lot of traffic from uploading like a fan, you know, like a user video. Syndra, who did the Powit Keep Playing Rewind series about, you know, retro stuff. Still great videos. I love her work. I'm sorry that she's gone out of video making, but she does the original sound version website now. So she's found her niche, and she's, you know, in charge of a company now. So it's like, you know, you can't knock her for that. I would love to get her back to do some stuff with us if she still has a camera and is willing. I'm sure she'd be willing. We'll talk to her. But you know, she put a lot of her stuff up there, and then, you know, apart from dealing with the usual comments about her gender, she she got a lot of she had a, push a much bigger draw on game trailers than we were. So then of course there was Screw Attack. We never really got in there. We talked about doing Channel Awesome. Actually, if you listen to the Nerd and Tie podcast, I sent a letter into them episode or two ago about I had actually signed up to go to Geek and Sundry, and I thought about applying to Channel Austin during one of those open casting calls. But I think oh boy, I'm gonna have to broach the subject now, aren't I? I brought up Channel Austin, so what did I expect? I around the time I was thinking about doing that is when Justin Giwario left Channel Awesome. Well, I'm like, well, if such a cool cat like he is leaving Channel Awesome, then something must be wrong with that place. And it seems like that's true, but I didn't know, and hardly anyone knew the real reason why he left, and that's something we're still dealing with, to be honest. And it's something that we're going to have to figure out how we're going to handle going forward. Actually, was contacted by the guy who played Mexican Waluigi in our Angry PC Engine Nerd episode, and he's really uncomfortable now with his stuff being associated. He had already left YouTube because his job, he didn't really want people to know he had been on YouTube. So he was talking to us and says that he would probably prefer it if we could take him out entirely. And I guess that makes our decision easier about what to do with that. I guess the episode as it stands is going to stay up. I don't know yet. But if we ever like make a DVD of it, we're going to have to reshoot that part of it, I think. And we can make a joke out of it. That's usually our style. But it might be better to cut down on that anyway for the flow of the episode, because it takes us a little while to get to the Angry PC Engine Nerd. So we alluded to some of this in the other stream, but I figured I'd give it a little better answer now. Yeah. Justin was actually one of the reasons that we had a little pause, because we were going to entwine ourselves with him a little more closely back in 2013. And then a whole bunch of life stuff happened to us, and then his life stopped happening. So yeah, don't know how else to put that. So that kind of threw us for a loop for a while, and we finally got our footing back. And I guess in hindsight, I'm unfortunately glad it didn't work out that way. But that's one of the reasons we never finished season 2 was the ending for it got kiboshed with that. And now I don't want to say it's a good thing, but now, well, our plans have to change again, let's say, and we'll talk more about it this summer. So I'm gonna go back to the chat, take my mind off of this for a minute. Vapor Cheeks. Oh, Vinnk is here. Sorry, Vinnk. I've been doing a lot of talking. Yeah, I'm ignoring you again, buddy. All right. I have to give you this link again, right? Like that's what I gotta video embed. No, how do I get you? Here we go. Invite people. There we go. I will email this to you again. Oh, Japanese was turned on, so when I typed in Gmail, it came out really funny. Uh-oh. Oh, God. Everyone still sees me. Inbox. Sorry, I gotta. So I have my accounts all set up under one browser, and whenever I open up a new window in Google, it goes back to the Famicom Dojo account, and that's I think how the last the last stream got messed up. So all right, I sent Vinnk the link. Vinnk the link. Thanks, Julio. Yeah, 2 millions. Vapor Cheeks. Sorry. Vinnk flooding. Vinnk, calm down. Oh God. Yeah, there he is. All right. I missed a whole bunch of chats. I was talking a whole lot. There he is. I hear him.
All right.
Welcome back. How's your face?
All right. Now I finally see where I rank in this hierarchy of things.
Like I said, I have this problem. I can't see the chat and the view window at the same time. So when it was gone, and then I ended up talking a whole lot. So I wasn't even looking at the chat.
Yeah,
I'm
but I said I'll be there in 5 minutes. 20 minutes ago.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
Whatever.
Mr. Buckshot says he just realized he's subscribed to both channels. How big is our pile of shame? Neo Geo is Gaming Trucker's favorite. How many Switch games do we own? Firelock asks.
I'm sitting there and I'm reading all these questions. I'm like, oh, I've got a good answer for that one. I've got a good answer for that one.
Well,
if only Sean would notice.
Just take it. Go with it. It's fine.
No, I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk.
Okay. You sound like my wife.
Well, I've known you a lot longer.
That's true.
So I tried calling you online as well, and you were ignoring that as well.
Oh man. Colin Swinburne says, as strange as it sounds, Famicom Dojo made it seem like okay for me to grab games I couldn't read. Yeah, I mean, we both studied Japanese now, of course, Vinnk lives there, but
Yep. But
yeah.
I still don't speak it nearly as well as I'd like to. And I still I still will only pick up like a title that's all in Japanese if it's an RPG or something, if I really want to play it. Otherwise, I'll wait for a localization or skip it. Like the Sakura Wars series I've played through because I really enjoy that series, but I still have to use a walkthrough because whereas when characters are speaking I can sort of make out what they're saying, but there's a ton of kanji in that game, and some of them are like lightning decisions, like they put two options in front of you and you have 10 seconds to react.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I need more than 10 seconds to look up that kanji. So yep. All right, hold on.
Mr. Buckshot also asked what our thoughts on the Game Boy are, and we have a whole podcast about that. And I'll go look up the exact number. But yeah, we love the Game Boy.
Ooh, Gaming Trucker 1, like the Neo Geo affair. That was one of the first episodes we ever wrote.
Right? Well, you wrote it.
I wrote it, yeah.
And then I came in and said, let's change a couple of things and make it shorter.
Yeah. It was pretty long. That would have been a 20-minute video.
Yeah, there was stuff in there about like the CD system and the Pocket.
Pocket. Yeah, it was, and we always thought we'd like to come and revisit that one, as a part 2, because there's enough. We took out enough that there could be a 7-8 minute part 2, but
at the time we recorded it, right? So the original plan for season 2, which was super ambitious, was the first half was going to be about the cartridge consoles, and then we're going to get into the CD-ROM stuff. That was the original plan, and that became too daunting. So I'm like, it's okay, we'll cut it up. We'll visit this character in the second half of the season when we talk about the CD systems. And like, in a way, I'm glad that we didn't do all of that back then, because now that we know that there was an actual Nintendo PlayStation prototype out there, we can work that into our discussions about it.
Frylock, yeah, but we'll get there. We'll get there eventually, because because we do things in a fast and efficient manner.
Jesus, we're getting older.
I have about 40 Switch games. Frylock. I have at least 30 physical. I don't know. There's some behind me on the shelf, but the rest are like in other rooms. As you can see, this is a very messy room right now. I usually show this angle because this is the only part that's like has a semblance of cleanliness. But if you go over here, it's just so. But love the Switch, very much. But I've been buying games my pile of shame, I'm in it. Colin, you asked how big is your pile of shame roughly. It's roughly this big. Like, these shelves go up this much too. You see those boxes? Those are filled with games. You see things sticking out. This is all shame. This is shame central here. But I love it.
Sarah is going to bed apparently finally.
Oh, good night. She
said that she was learning Japanese, and I did it in college, so I'm not sure what people are doing now. I think our buddy Terrence did what's that learning course called? Criminy. What?
I don't know.
No, the you get discs and stuff, like CDs, and what is that?
Oh, for learning what? Sorry.
Learning languages.
Course?
Well, like an off-the-shelf thing.
Oh, Pimsleur.
No, that's not what I was thinking of, but yeah, something like that.
Is that a stone?
Is that a stone? There we go. God.
There we go.
I don't know how people learn languages when they don't go to school. It was hard for me coming back to the States because I had no environment to really speak it. Like I was part of the Japanese. What was the name of that outfit?
Jason?
No. The Cultural Society. Is that what it was called?
JCS.
Yeah. So once I was out of college, I couldn't really do that anymore. Duolingo too is another one. Was that a stone Duolingo? Yeah. But
Ah,
But someone suggested when I moved to Madison, like, why don't you just like, go to like groups and stuff at the college? And I was like in my late 20s at the time, and I'm like, I'd feel kind of gross hanging around the university, like, and now I'm in my late 30s, so I realized that was kind of a silly thing. But yeah, haven't had a lot of opportunity to flex my Japanese knowledge and muscles. But now
come
I have.
visit me. Come visit me.
Okay, it's been 7 years almost since I
Yeah,
was
it
last in
has.
Japan,
And you
and
haven't
that
been
felt
you haven't
long.
and you haven't been in my town for what, like 11 years?
Yeah, 2006.
Yeah.
That's so. For those who don't know the story of Famicom Dojo, that's how it came to be, because
Yep.
I was there in 2003 for my study abroad program. I got a whole bunch of these Famicom Gashapon things.
Yep.
So that was my first exposure. It was also the 20th anniversary that year. So I came back. Vinnk takes me to the Famicom Dojo store. I get my disk system,
Yep.
my Famicom, a bunch of
He gave
games.
you tons
He
of
gave me
fantastic
tons
games
of
for
games.
like nothing. For
I
like
know.
he gave you like 20 games for like $15. It was ridiculous. He's a
So
terrible businessman.
naturally, I spent the next 10 years of my life dedicating a web series to his honor. So,
Yeah.
naturally.
Colin, as strange as it sounds, Famicom Dojo made it seem okay for me to. Oh, you already read that comment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yep. I'm a complete noob to the Famicom. Oh, Mr. Buckshot, I'm a complete noob to the Famicom. What would you suggest getting first if a person is getting into Famicom, or should a person get into the Famicom? Mr. Buckshot, how old are you? I think that like I think that has something to do with it, because if you have any nostalgia, I think you should definitely do it. And if you're younger, it's if you're really interested in video game history, or if you've been playing a lot of indies like Shovel Knight and like that sort of thing. But like,
Yeah, yeah.
you're not going to get the new God of War on a Famicom. You know what I mean? But I say yes, and my daughter is 8 years old and she loves the Famicom. So it just
Right, Sarah.
depends, So and if you do get a Famicom, I think, as Sean was saying earlier, when I couldn't get onto the stream, the Twin's a nice option.
Oh,
Twin's a
thanks,
nice
Steve.
option.
Steve just gave us $2 Canadian
Oh, well,
as a thank you.
people can give us money.
Yeah, I might have turned super chat on before. That's part of the reason it took me so long to get the video started.
Holy cow!
Yep. Good
Well,
time.
thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you. Wow. Hey, Steve. Oh, sorry. That's
Hey, Steve.
Homestar Runner reference, which just wait for it. Just wait for it. Okay. Let's see.
I want to comment on Trey here, who hopped on and says that I'm playing the TV in his bedroom when I finally joined him in bed, which is hilarious. If for no other reason than Trey was my roommate in college for doing the math, 3 years.
Yeah. And it's ironic because they only had one bed.
Which got really awkward when our friend Ben and his fiance moved in with us. Never mind.
Haha, Famicom Dojo. Anyway,
yeah, 3 years, says Trey. So yeah,
I lived in Sean's house for about 4 months, but it was during a time when Sean was not living in his house.
Right, that's when I was in Japan. So it's funny how that works.
Yep.
I wanted to run back and see what Jalil's like, because he's from Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico. I whiffed that hard. I'm so sorry. And the Spanish you speak there is different. I actually took Spanish for 5.5 years between high school and college. Oh, thank you, Colin. Colin gave us $1 Australian. I think that's what the A means.
Oh my goodness. I wonder what any of these things mean.
God, good grief.
How do I donate 3 Malaysian ringgit? But no, thank you so much. Oh, what happened? Am I still here? Hello? Hello? Hi. Oh, what happened?
Oh, I know my camera just cut out. So I lost my train of thought anyway. So it was kind of appropriate that the camera gave me a second to regather those thoughts. What the heck was I talking about?
I was talking about Malaysian ringgit, but
Oh,
that's
oh no,
probably not.
the Spanish.
Oh,
Um, so I am curious what the differences are. Because what they taught us was, what did they teach us? What dialect was it? I can't really remember. Like, since we're in the US, of course, I went to Mexico for my senior trip. Um, and they wanted us to go to Mexico City, which would have been really cool. But then they wanted to bus us across the country to the Yucatan, and we had to go through Chiapas, and there was a lot of fighting in Chiapas. And they were like, well, they probably won't target tourists. And we decided that I don't know why we couldn't get a plane out of there. It was too expensive or what it was. So we decided not to go to Mexico City. Right. Anyway, so I'm curious what the differences are between the Spanish dialects in Puerto Rico. Hey, how do you feel about statehood, Julio? Because I know that there's been a couple of votes over there for a while. Not that a Republican Congress would ever take up such an action.
Famicom Dojo's getting political again.
I'm sorry. We're on the SeanOrange channel now. I'm curious about these things. I can't tell if the current state of affairs would be like, just screw it, I want to be my own country, or if the current state of affairs, with the hurricane, it's like, well, if we were a state, then they can't treat us like dirt anymore. I don't know what to say about that, except for I'm very sorry.
It's mostly Sean's fault, actually.
It is mostly my fault.
Speaking of things that are Sean's fault,
happened.
well, not Sean's fault. It's our fault too. So it was raining torrentially, and I walked to the dentist, and I was too late to get an appointment for that day. So
sorry, I got distracted by Trey's comment.
That's okay.
Yeah. So Trey's point is that Flint doesn't have clean water, and Puerto Rico would still be treated like crap if it was a state. So yeah, I see that. Yep. Let's talk about more fun things.
Ooh, Vapor Cheeks mentioned the Casio Loopy. I have a Casio Loopy.
Is it in that room?
No, it's at my mother-in-law's house.
I was going to ask if that's where it was.
Yeah, that's the Overflow. That's the Overflow Dojo. You see Overflow Dojo in one of our videos.
So you built your own house in Japan, which is already an amazing thing. How come it's not big enough to hold your stuff?
I don't because I didn't know people could donate to our videos, and I didn't have the money at the time.
I keep bringing up politics, and now I've brought up a bad memory of earlier today for Trey. I'm sorry, but Julia says that Puerto Rico stronger after the hurricane. So, what other? So Vinnk, now that you're here, what does the future of Famicom Dojo look like?
Gosh, I think it's just the slow, gradual transition right now until our kids take over. So, I mean, I think we're just sunsetting ourselves on content. We should cover the things we really want to do most before we're inevitably replaced.
Well, I mean, we are pushing 40 now.
We are too old to be YouTubers. I've been on YouTube. I'm seeing what's trending. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we should do more like, I don't know, Tide Pod eating, or I don't know.
I think our taste buds are too well developed at this point or something. I don't
know. But I don't know if people want to see two old guys talk about video games. It's getting a little sad, isn't it? I mean,
well, for Alexis, we should do more live streams, and I agree.
That's true.
So, as we were mentioning over, this is a good time since we were complaining about people not knowing one channel versus the other. Or I was complaining because Vinnk wasn't here yet, or he was here and I just was ignoring him. I forget which.
Yeah, one of those things. Yeah.
That if you haven't heard yet, we have a live show at No Brand Con, and we are going to try our best to do a live stream from there using this setup. That's what we're doing here tonight, as we're testing to make sure that we can do it. So if you can't make No Brand Con in person, which we'd love to see you, that'd be really great. You can join us virtually on the chat, and we will field some questions during our Dench email segment. Otherwise, it'll just be a nice window into Famicom Dojo live, which is funny, as Trey has pointed out to us before. And then Trey may or may not lick me.
Trey may or may not. Oh dear. Oh, Mr. Buckshot. He's 30. Yeah, you should get a Famicom. You should get a Famicom.
Last year's Super Western Roulette. Sorry, no, I'm reading the thing.
Oh, okay.
Season 3, please. So Steve, I was explaining.
Don't go, Gabe Newell. We can't do a season 3.
Yeah, so I mentioned like the joke now is that our seasons are actual seasons. So there's Winter Dojo and Spring Dojo and Summer Dojo. We haven't done a Fall Dojo yet, but there's always the first time for everything. Wink. I don't know why I winked and said the word wink at the same time, but maybe people can't see. Maybe there are people who are watching this who legit can't see, and I have to do my what do you get out of watching a video game video? I'm curious. If you are legally blind and you watch video game videos, what's that like for you? I'm super curious. Yeah, people should go to No Brand Con, but No Brand Con's in Wisconsin, and there aren't a lot of people in Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's true. Colin says, "Hey Vinnk, how the heck I'm gonna make it family friendly? Do you sell your games so cheap? Everyone else wants drug money for them. Should have probably censored drug money rather than hell. But how do I sell them so cheap? Well, I mean, I'm in Japan, so I buy them cheap, and I'm not. It's not. I've got a job, you know. It's not my job to do this, but I just want to help people out, and it helps me. I've got a lot of doubles in my collection too. Like, I think I've got. Oh, I've got Waku Waku 7. I should play that. This game's great. Anyway, should do a video on that. But I don't know. It's just something I enjoy doing, and it's something that like allows me to justify it to my family why I have so many games. I'm like, because it's a business. Because I mean, I'm waiting for that sweet Famicom Dojo money to start rolling in.
Tens and tens of dollars
that I've heard YouTube is famous for. But I sell them cheap because I buy them fairly cheap. I don't shop at places like Super Potato. I shop at smaller little game shops that haven't been hit by the tourists yet. So I'm able to get them pretty cheap, so I can sell them pretty cheap. Unfortunately, that means that often the shipping's more than the games, but I can't. I have no control over that. Oh, my store website? I can type it in. Let's see.
Just japanretrodirect.com, right?
Well, I mean, you can get to it from there.
Oh yeah, right. It was OC.
Yeah, it's japanretrodirect.ocnk.com.
OCNK. Okay.
Steve, we really should have a patron or something, but I don't know. Part of it is we're embarrassed for the fact that it might not work. Do you know what I mean? Like, that would be incredibly humiliating if there was a patron thing and it's like make Famicom Dojo for a month. Your fans have gotten together and donated 73 cents a month. You know, I think
there's that part of it. But what I'm more worried about is since like 2014 or so, we've been like promising a Kickstarter. And I feel like if we have a Patreon that will bleed dry the opportunity to do that, but it's like we haven't done it for the last 4 years. So what makes us think that this year is going to be any different? I'm saying to you now, it's going to be different.
Yeah,
we have lots of great plans for the summer.
We do. And like the other thing is, like, we don't want to let people down on a Patreon because you know you need to make sure you have regular content there, and we kind of release our content in spurts. Like we've done. In the last 2 days, we've released 100% of all the live podcasting we've done. So, you know, it's, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
it
Well,
is it is what it is. However, like, I don't know if we can, if we, Trey says, get a Patreon, support the podcast. You'll only let people down if it's 2017 again. What
2017 was a rough year for me. I don't know about you.
it was we hey, we put some good stuff out in 2017 though,
Yeah, but
didn't
not
we?
good as other years.
That's very true. But I mean, what do we have out in 2017? There's clearly something.
Something that escapes my memory right now. I mean, we started Pile of Shame in 2017,
Yeah,
the video version.
let's see.
I want to mention two things. First, go back to Trey's comment about airports in Wisconsin. There are airports, but they're very
Yeah.
small. There's the one in Milwaukee, of course. That's the big one. But ever since AirTran got gobbled up by, was it Delta? I think there are direct flights to nowhere basically. Like I used to be able to go to DC, which is why basically the last year I went to MagQuest was the last year that there were direct flights to DC. Actually, I think I got a direct flight to DC from Madison, if I'm remembering correctly, one year. But since then, like if we're talking about an airport to like Wisconsin Dells, do they have an airport there? Like the Eau Claire
Not
one's like a
really.
shack in a field, more or less.
Yep.
Central Wisconsin's, I imagine, even worse than that. Like I don't really want to take a prop plane anywhere. I don't know about you guys. Tiffany Grant sure doesn't anymore. I'll tell you that much.
That was awesome.
That was awesome.
Oh wow, we really didn't put up much in 2017. But we had the Atari video. I did the Play Computer video. There was the Wisdom Tree Arcade. Yeah, there wasn't really a lot.
I don't want to fly to the cities because that's the whole point. I was like, it takes so much time and it's so expensive. Like those hops. Yeah. It sucks. It's flying sucks. I wish we had a train. I don't want to get into politics right now.
We could definitely. Oh, how would we even do a live? We couldn't do a live stream of Super Russian Roulette unless we were both in the same room.
Yeah. So the problem with Super Russian Roulette is like we could put it into something that broadcasts in HDMI. Nothing I have can stream with composite.
Well, you wouldn't need to stream it because that's totally a game where
so I could use the webcam here.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, because that's a game where you want to see people aiming guns at their heads. Maybe I should rethink that statement.
Julia loves the Super Russian Roulette video. We really enjoy it too. That's why I brought it back for the RAFnet controller adapter thing.
Oh, thanks! I'm so glad. I'm so glad you like. We recorded a whole bunch of footage for that. But I have I have not played that game since. In fact, I think it's still in the box.
I like how you have your isopropyl alcohol right behind you there.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. That's in case I get thirsty during the videos. But
those are for the Famicom and the NES to drink. We established this.
Yes, yeah. I'll tell you when I've had enough. All right, one more. Here you go. There you go, buddy. Did I tell you the time I dated a Sega Master System? Okay, anyway.
Good grief. All right, I don't want this to go on forever either, but it's been a lot of fun so far. Does anyone have any other questions? Do you have anything you want to say, Vin? Because I talked for a long time already.
Yeah, ask me things. Ask me things that I'll probably pull something from the shelves behind me. Can you guys both do room tours sometime soon? Oh man, it's so messy though.
Yeah.
Like it's like as I told you, I only keep this part relatively clean because that's what I use as a backdrop from the videos. But again, look, if you go up there, it's just disgusting. And over here is just there. This is the room tour, and there's not. I'm on a chair right now because I couldn't even sit on the floor because it's just wall to wall, just boxes of random games that I've still got to sort out.
Oh,
just
and a green screen. How nice.
and a green and a green screen that we used during the Neo Geo Affair video. Hold on.
And never again.
Can you still see me? That's not how a green screen works. That's how an invisibility cloak works.
Oh dear. So as for my game room, there's a lot that I have to do to my living area. I'm in the basement now, and we had a little bit of flooding last year. So we got to get some things fixed up. Nothing, I didn't lose anything, but just enough leaked in that I had to move some things around. So if you've seen any of the videos lately where like there's that big black game shelf, or you see like the retro station and the any of the pile of shame videos, you've seen my game room. That's it. Like it's all disjointed. I'm going to rearrange it a little bit more so I can get everything into one place again now that I had to have moved it. But yeah, I can actually like go down and drill down, because I mentioned we have like 6 Famicoms, right? I can totally talk about that. I have to make it more presentable. Like the ultimate plan is to have it be more atmospheric and what's the word I'm looking for? Photogenic.
Sure.
So that, there's some people who have some really super duper geeky game rooms, and I kind of want to go for a mix of that and like an actual livable area, because my kids play games down here. Splatoon is their favorite. I made them their own.
I have a lock on my door. My kids don't even know this room exists.
Yeah, I did I tell you, Vinnk, that I finally made a Nintendo account for my kids so they can play Splatoon 2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Please add Sarah. She's always looking for people to destroy.
Oh dear. Okay.
Hold on.
I know my boys are getting pretty good, and they're only like 6 and 4.
Let me catch up on some of these questions. Okay. Hey Vinnk, how hard is it to get consoles over there? I'm a big nerd, so I really want an original Famicom and disk system instead of the Duo. eBay prices are brutal. Prices in Japan are getting brutal too. They really are, because people our age are buying the systems again. They're collecting them. Send me a PM through hold on, let me post my face the link to my Facebook for Japan Retro Direct. You can send me a PM and I can try to track you down one. I mean, I can buy them right at Famicom Dojo, but he charges, a fair price, because the ones he have are all cleaned up and really nice. Like they still look white, they're, and some of them are AV modded as well. Just a second. Oh, what did I link to? That's not the link I was trying. Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, that should do it. But if you just go to Facebook and type Japan Retro Direct and just send me a PM there, I'd be happy to help you. But unfortunately, hardware is still really expensive, and the shipping will. Famicom's light though. Famicom would be pretty cheap to ship or whatever. It's the power adapters and stuff. The disk system's kind of heavy though. Okay, let's see. Mr. Buckshot says, "Oh, Sean, you still there?"
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I am what people would call a hardcore collector. I have a copy of Earthbound. I like the style of the Let's Plays. The over-the-shoulder Let's Play. Oh, great. I'm a big fan of Earthbound myself. Here's Mother 2, and here's Mother 2 2. Why? Because one of them has the registration card and the other one doesn't. That's sad.
It was like Cheesemeister's question, his poll lately about is there any part of curating a video game collection that involves selling not duplicates?
Yep.
And a lot of people said yes. 60% said yes, and I was surprised by that too.
Yep. Let's see. Hey Vinnk, what's a game for the Famicom that you couldn't recommend to anyone? There's a lot. There are some truly terrible Famicom games. I hate to say, because I love the Famicom, but there's a lot of garbage. There's this one. I wonder if I have it. I'd have to look for it, but it's based on like Journey to the West, and it's just unplayable garbage. But there's plenty of games I do recommend though. Okay, when will your daughter do Ranma 1/2 Part 2? Oh, that game's really long. Like it would take like 8 hours to get through the whole thing. Like we recorded for that. What was it? 15 minutes? Did it come to 15 minutes, Sean? 16?
Yeah,
Something
yeah,
like that?
it was. I think you cut it under 15 a little bit. Finally.
I recorded about 3 hours of footage for that video.
Oh my
So
God.
yeah, so I mean part of it was that we were playing it and Sarah accidentally turned it off without saving. So we had to go back part of it. But just general stuff. Because at first she was trying to translate everything, and it takes a while. It takes a long while. I mean, the cut that I sent you, Sean, was like 20 minutes long, the original one. Maybe
Okay,
I didn't send
yeah.
you. Maybe I didn't
No,
send
I
you
didn't
that.
get the
But yeah,
original.
yeah. But I took off a lot of the stuff where she's reading the Japanese because it was impressive to me. But I figured the audience isn't really going to get much. You know what? I could put the longer cut on another channel maybe later on if anybody's interested.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll put it on this
Okay.
channel maybe. We discussed
Yeah.
it earlier. So
Why I liked the Russian roulette video because of Vinck's reaction to the game when the game called him a mule kisser. Yep, and Sean started laughing. Yeah, game's hilarious. That game's hilarious. Are you Dragon Ball fans? I love Dragon Ball. I didn't get into Dragon Ball Z as much as the original Dragon Ball, and more so than that Dr. Slump. But you know, Arare-chan, who makes cameos in Dragon Ball. But like you can't live in Japan and not be a Dragon Ball fan because it's so pervasive here. Like it's everywhere. But I have not watched the new Dragon Ball series. Is it good? Should I be watching this?
is it the same? Is it a new series or just like they never stopped making the original?
No, it's like it's I believe it's a remake, a reboot.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
heard.
I'm not sure, but I'd like to. I don't know. I just don't get into anime much anymore because I don't have so much time, and when I do, I often play video games. But I'm willing to give anything a shot. Let's see.
Can you take one more question? I gotta wrap this up because I did not plan on doing it this long. It's been
Oh,
great,
sorry.
guys, but I need. It's getting late where I am now. I'm getting towards that main bedtime.
Okay, and I guess I can't continue on by myself. You're
Yeah,
required
I'm
for
in charge.
this thing to go.
Yeah.
Well, then, does anyone have any last thoughts, comments? Malaysian ringgit.
We so I guess yeah, I am old. Thanks, Trey. You're a touch older than I am. Yeah, so thanks again. We're doing this because we hit 2 million. The first million was the hardest. The second million not so bad. We're hoping for really, really awesome things this year. We have lots of great plans. It's honestly it's been a fun ride. It's been difficult keeping up the pace with all of our responsibilities, but we do it because we love it, and we have if we could do this as our full-time jobs, I'm pretty sure we'd at least consider it, right? Right, Vinnk?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What is it? Is it an option? Where do what's the kanji for resignation?
Oh goodness.
No, this is where I feel most alive. I love doing Famicom Dojo. I always have. Colin, you want to do a stuff Vinnk sent me video? Go right ahead. But send us a link to it and
yes.
Yeah.
I've actually been thinking about encouraging this, like, you know, especially because you have that store. People should absolutely send us their stuff. Vinnk sent me videos, and if it passes whatever requirements that we haven't thought of yet, we'll absolutely share it with people.
Passes the mustard. passes the muster. You guys play Dragon Ball Fighter Z? Not yet. I'm waiting for the Switch port. And if it happens, and if it doesn't, that's fine.
I never did answer the question how many Switch games I have. I think it's like 5 carts and maybe 5 more or 6 more digital titles. Oh, I still have to finish Old Man's Journey.
You haven't finished Old Man's Journey yet? That game's only like 3 hours long.
Yeah, I know. I ended up playing, the last game I played on my Switch was like an hour of Skyrim. Whatever. I've been spending so much time doing my day job and keeping the videos going.
Sean, yeah.
It's hard to play games.
Sean, I was wrong. Dragon Ball Super is a sequel.
That is what someone in the chat said too.
James just set me right. I'm thinking of Dragon Ball Kai, which was a remake. Am I right?
Yes.
Am I right? Dragon Ball Kai was the remake.
Trey, I'll play Night in the friggin' Woods. I'll do it.
Trey, don't put it in the chat window, but if you're gonna send me a download code for it, you can just send it to my email. That's fine.
All right. Okay. Well, I think that's a wrap then. Thank you again,
yes.
everybody. Come see us at No Brand Con in person, yes, or on the chat. We'll share the event tomorrow with the updated details. And if I don't completely kill myself in the meantime, I might even have a video for you guys to watch tomorrow. I do have to cut it up though.
Yeah.
I sent Vinnk my plan, but he never had a chance to reply to me about what he thought about it. No, I shouldn't do it. No, what? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. So I guess you guys will be the first to know if you're watching this before you see it. But I was planning on doing like one big NES Classic Edition video, but there's this whole section about reviewing some of the games and doing some tips and tricks with them.
Yeah.
That like it's taking me so much more time to get it done now. So I'm gonna yank that chunk of it out and just keep it to the hardware review.
Oh,
and then,
okay. Oh, that.
Yeah.
Okay, I did hear about that.
And
yes,
and then next week I'll do the actual game stuff.
Yeah.
Give me a little more time to get that out, especially with No Brand Con coming up. I have to film some more stuff for that too. There's just no way I was going to get the whole thing done for tomorrow. So.
Okay.
But
well, I gotta get going right now because I gotta send out some orders that people just made. Sweet. And I need to watch Dragon Ball Super apparently. Why not?
Yeah, it's Golden Week.
I wonder where I can watch it. I wonder if it's on Japanese Netflix. There's a lot of anime on there. Huh. I'll figure it out. I'm in one of them. Oh, I'm one of them. Oh yeah, Colin, which one is your order? You want to see the games you got? I can hold them up to you right now. Hold on. Just a second. And then he's got to watch Dragon Ball Super as well. Or does Colin want it to be a surprise for his friends? Let's see. Oh yeah, good choices. Just a second. I just separated those earlier.
Well, while Vinck's away, I'm going to say words so we don't have to watch his empty room. Hello, everyone. How are you?
Okay, so Colin got. Hold on, I can't see myself. Got World Destruction. This one's great. Parodius. In Sector X. Do you like odd shooters? This one's pretty cool too. I was wondering if anybody would play the PSP games, but I'm glad people are into it. This one is called Higurashi Daybreak Portable. So, yep, I'll send those out actually right after this. I'm just gonna bag those up and I'll get them out to you today. Okie doke.
Yeah, Jaleel, I'm 27 years older than you are. I was double 18 last year.
Ooh. When you hit the big old, when they hit the big double D's, wait, double. Whoa,
Yeah.
that was a Freudian something. Oh my goodness. I think
I
it's
think a Freudian slip would cover double D's.
Okay, Sean, say something else so that's not the statement we go out on.
Does everyone enjoy my Nerd and tie? It's been hanging out, literally hanging out on my podcast rig since the Nerd and Tie Expo in 2016. So thanks to Trey for putting that on. Yes, we do turn 38 this fall. It's officially late 30s now. There's no way around it. I was in mid 30s.
Yep.
Until that point. Now I'm definitely late 30s.
Frylock, I have lots of Parodius games. I've got another Game Boy one somewhere around here. I've got a Famicom one. I've got a Sega Saturn one. I think I have a Super Famicom one. Yeah.
All right. These fine folks want their next spring training video. So
yep, got to get working on that. Okay.
Thank you again, everyone. Hopefully the next million will come. Boom, boom. Nice. Good night.
All right. Bye-bye.